Please welcome AJC Asia Pacific Institute Chair, Jeffrey Stone.
Good afternoon. What you just saw on the video is a small snapshot of our Asia Pacific Institute's important work and its remarkable 30-year history. I must take a moment to highlight two key AJC figures in the history of API. The first, the late Dr. Neil Sandberg, whom we remember today as both an accomplished and admired staff leader of AJC Los Angeles and what was then our Western region, and a pioneering visionary of the Asia Pacific Institute. In 1989, Neil established the groundbreaking AJC Pacific Rim Institute, the first of its kind in the American Jewish community. Neil passed away last year in 2018, but his legacy in AJC lives on through the extraordinary work of API. I would also like to pay tribute to AJC Honorary President Bruce Raymer, who in 1989 was the founding chairman of the Institute. Thank you, Bruce, for your leadership then and your continued commitment to AJC today. As was highlighted in our video, API blazes new trails across Asia, building relationships, influencing policy, and enacting change. In India, South Korea, Indonesia, Japan, and China, and elsewhere that opportunity presents itself on that dynamic continent, API works to foster strategic alliances with governments, civil society, media, and business leaders, and raises awareness about the Jewish people and Israel. And our work has been duly noted. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi recently highlighted the critical work of API. He stated, and I quote, "I really appreciate AJC's commitment to advancing China-US and China-Israel friendship and cooperation. It is my hope that AJC can continue to make positive efforts to ensure the sound growth of these important relationships." We are grateful for his words, and we hold the same hope for the continued growth and vitality of our relationship with China. And Japanese Minister for Foreign Affairs, Kono Taro, recently stated in a letter to AJC, "I send my congratulations regarding the commencement of the American Jewish Committee's Global Forum. Building a close relationship with AJC is a priority of the government of Japan. May the relationship between Japan and the Jewish community continue in its prosperity." AJC is deeply grateful for the Foreign Minister's statement, which reflects AJC's long-standing relationship with Japan. It is in that vein that I am honored to announce that this year, Japanese Prime Minister Abe Shinzo will join a distinguished group of world leaders, including US President Bill Clinton, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, French President Nicolas Sarkozy, and Chilean President Ricardo Lagos, as the recipient of AJC's Light Unto the Nations Award. Prime Minister Abe, a friend of AJC and the Jewish people, has steadfastly pursued the vision of a more democratic and peaceful world. We are honored that he has accepted our award, which we look forward to presenting to him in Tokyo later this year. We are honored that the government of Japan has sent Kiyoto TSUJI, the distinguished Parliamentary Vice-Minister for Foreign Affairs of Japan, to join us to acknowledge the Light Unto the Nations Award on behalf of the Prime Minister. Vice Minister TSUJI, thank you for traveling all the way from Tokyo to be here with us for this special moment. Please join me in welcoming Vice Minister TSUJI to the stage.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants. I am Kiyoto TSUJI, Vice Foreign Minister of Japan, and it's my great honor to be here today at the AJC Global Forum on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan. First of all, I'd like to express my deep appreciation on the bestowal of the Light Unto the Nations Award from AJC to Japan's Prime Minister Abe Shinzo. I take the award as a sign of acknowledgement of the leadership that he has shown for many years in promoting the partnership between Japan and the Jewish community, including Israel. Prime Minister Abe has built a good personal relationship with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. That is a key element in bringing about remarkable progress in the Japan-Israeli relationship in recent years, especially in trade and investment. Since the start of the second Abe administration, the number of Japanese companies in Israel has been tripled, and Japan's investment in Israel has become 120 times larger. Thank you. And it's needless to say that the Japan-US alliance is the cornerstone of Japan's diplomacy. It's important for Japan to have active exchanges with Jewish communities to make the Japan-US ties even stronger. Our embassy and consulate generals in the US have made good friends with members of major Jewish organizations, such as the AJC. The Japanese government has a history of good cooperation with the AJC. Among others, we've been good partners in youth exchange. Under the Kakehashi Project, an invitation program hosted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Japan invites a group of Jewish youths nominated by AJC. Another Kakehashi project is to send a delegation of Japanese researchers specializing in Jewish studies to the US in cooperation with AJC. We also receive an AJC leadership delegation. Recently, we do so yearly, and this year, AJC is going to host a delegation of young Japanese diplomats visiting Israel. Thank you. And this year's invitation is the second time, and today I've come here with one of the members of the first delegation in 2017 from Tokyo. So that's exciting. Thank you. And these are merely part of many aspects of a long and close relationship between Japan and the Jewish community. It's fair to say that our steady bond is backed by accumulation of humanitarian acts by our ancestors. Chiune, or Senpo Sugihara, a Japanese consul in Lithuania during World War II, is one of such figures. He saved numerous lives by issuing transit visas to thousands of Jewish refugees fleeing from the Nazis, even though most of them did not meet the visa requirements. Sugihara, thank you. Mr. Sugihara is recognized now as having done courageous humanitarian acts. There are some informative venues where we can learn about him, such as the Senpo Museum in Tokyo. It's actually in my constituency. So that speaks volumes about our ties. And I need to mention what happened after Sugihara. Japan's acting consul general in Vladivostok, Saburo Nei, helped the Jewish refugees to enter Japan. Citizens in Tsuruga, the refugees' port of arrival, offered them food and bath. Hebrew professor Setsuzo Kotsuji struggled to extend their visas. We will inherit the Sugihara spirit from one generation to another. And last but not least, I'd like to express Japan's constant commitment to the efforts for the Middle East peace process. As the US is expected to release its peace plan, Japan will contribute to stability in the region based on the friendship with both sides. Thank you again. Thank you very much. Thank you.